Hey everyone, Cody Cantley here. So I've been asked to do a video after I did the video of showing the new 14-inch candy machines. So people have been asking, how am I going to weigh this down or anchor it? How much does it weigh? So first, I weighed this machine. I didn't have a scale that could weigh it, so I had to get on my home scale, weigh myself, pick this machine up, get back on the scale, and then subtract my weight from this. So it's a little crude, so it might be a little off. So I got 104 pounds for the new 14-inch Super Mini with the prize box on top. Also, that is filled with rubber ducks and some plushies and stuff like that. So dry weight, like nothing in it, might be a little bit different, but close enough, right? So 100 to 104 pounds. So it's pretty light, easy to tip. So let's get into how I plan to weigh this down and anchor it. So you come in here, this is the new coin drawer, right? It's got a large coin drawer in the back. You can see it's elevated off the ground of the base. That's about 1.5 inches off the ground, and that's gonna be important here in a minute. So some people I know on the Chinese ones, this angled plate here is hollow and they can fill it with concrete. The bottom with this 14-inch one, if I flipped it over on its back for you, there is no plate actually on the very bottom. So that's just hollow in there. So you can't fill it with concrete or do anything to it. I mean, maybe you could put some brackets like on the side if they'll let you drill into the ground. But I'm going off of they're only gonna let me drill one hole in the wall, and I need to anchor this down. So that's how I'm gonna do this. So first, we're gonna pull this drawer out. You can see that there is that plate down there that held that drawer up. Again, it's 1.5 inches. And the reason why that's important is I found these bricks at my local hardware store. It's called Menards. I know they're not everywhere, just it's a Midwest hardware store thing. They're exactly 1.5 inches. So what I'm doing is I had to break 2 of them because in between there is actually just shorter than a full brick. So I broke the ends off. Sorry. And as you can see, fits in between there. So I'm gonna get 7 bricks in here to weigh it down. They're about 4 pounds each. So I do those 2 sideways like that, and then I do the ones up front longwise. It fits 3 that way. Sometimes it gets a little tricky. They get a little stuck. But if you work them in there, you usually can get them in just fine. And then this last one you got to see, I kind of angled it away from the corner because if you put it in the corner, then the door hits and doesn't close. But as you can see, this is letting me close. So now I have 5 bricks in there. I take one and I set it in the side there at an angle. And then the last one, you kind of have to move this last brick when you're doing the drawer, but just add a little bit of weight. I lean it up against the prize door. What's actually kind of nice about doing it this way, since it's exactly 1.5 inches, instead of the coin bucket falling down to the bottom as you pull it out, now it just slides on 1.5 inches to 1.5 inches. So it doesn't fall. It actually makes it a little bit easier to pull that bucket in and out. And then this one, I just kind of put at an angle like that, so it doesn't hit my bill acceptor, and I lock it up. So if I do it sideways there, it hits the bill acceptor. Even if you go straight in the back, it hits the bill acceptor. So it has to kind of be on this side at an angle. So now that adds, 20 something pounds, right? 7 times 4, so like 28 pounds, right? Or something like that. So anyways, the next thing I'm going to do, and I purchased these wall anchors. They're 2.5 inches long. They're a 3/16 bolt. And what it is you get this piece here. You have to have a 1/2 inch drill bit. Or sorry, yes, 1/2 inch drill bit. You drill into the wall, preferably into a stud, but it doesn't actually need a stud. It's got this cool anchor here that grabs onto the drywall. And if you can grab on the drywall, it still holds 100 pounds or 106 pounds, even into drywall. And then it's got the long bolt. So what you'll do is you'll drill a 1/2 inch hole. You slide this end in, you pull it back towards the drywall, it flips that piece out and grabs on. And you push this white piece, the white circle piece in, all the way till it hits the wall and fills the hole. And then you snap off the remaining white piece that's hanging. And then this bolt here. So on the back of the candy machine, Super Mini, there's this hole here. It has threads. I don't know what size bolt that is because the one I have just goes right in. You don't actually need to thread it, right? So my goal here is I'm going to use that hole, measure it, drill the hole into their wall, and put this bolt through. So now you're probably thinking like, okay, you have a bolt, but if they have any trim on the floor, there could be a 1/2 inch gap, right? So you'd still, maybe it'd stop it from tipping left and right, definitely forward. But what about someone kind of pushing it backwards, right? And still trying to shake it. So my idea for that is I have 1/2 inch pecs. I just had some of this at home. They do make a 1/4 inch, so it might actually be better, so it's not as thick, right? And they sell it in blue, red, and white. So I would measure that gap, that the trim or whatever's keeping it away from the wall. So let's just say it's like a 1/2 inch. You measure that in your PEX tubing here. I have a special PEX cutter, but the PEX is pretty easy to cut. And these cutters are $10 or something like that. Pretty cheap. You would cut that gap. You'd stick it over the hole, and this would be touching the wall, and that would stop it from tipping backwards. If you were really concerned about looks or anything, you could spray paint this black or white, or get the white one, or spray paint it white to match whatever machine you have. Of course, you will have to take off the prize box, which is the 4 screws inside, and then there's that little gap there, an opening, so you can slide the bolt out this way. Now there are a couple more holes, so there is another one here, but you can see like this one's center, this one's off to well, my right now, but if you're facing it would be left. And at the very bottom on the sides there's a couple, but with that giant coin box, I don't know that you'd actually be able to get a drill or anything in there to do that. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask, but this is how I plan to anchor. Actually, one more thing is they do sell like furniture anchors for babies that are non-drilled. They're like sticky. So I was also thinking about getting 1 or 2 of those and sticking it to the tops. They're like kind of command strips, and then sticking it to the wall, and that would also help it if they want a no drill solution. But some of the options I saw people do, they were putting Velcro on the bottom in like an X and square pattern. Again, there's no actual base plate on the bottom of this, so you can't do that. So that's my idea. So if you have any questions about how I'm doing this, let me know. Let me know what you think about it, if it will be enough, because I only have 1 machine placed. This is my 2nd machine. I need to get it placed. So yeah, let me know what you think and if you think it will work. But also tune in and stay tuned to my channel, because I'm going to be doing 2 more videos. I'm actually going to installing a Blink camera into the machine so we can watch it. So stay tuned. That will probably be my very next video. And the next video after that will be, I'm going to actually be doing my first collection maybe this weekend or next weekend. So my first machine I placed last Friday, and today is Friday. So it's been in there exactly 1 week. So I'm hoping to maybe go do a collection tomorrow. But if not tomorrow, then I'll do a 2-week collection. So there'll be a video about that, because it'll be my very first collection ever, which will be awesome. So thank you very much. Have a good one.